In short, Nedry had thought of everything. Except this damn storm. Where was the damn dock? It was a shock when he came around a corner and saw that the road terminated in a gray concrete barrier. He slammed on the brakes, and the Jeep fish-tailed, losing traction, slid to a stop just a foot from the concrete wall. He'd better try and find out where the hell he was. He got out of the Jeep, feeling heavy raindrops spatter his head. It was a real tropical storm, raining so hard that it hurt. He walked around the concrete barrier, and on the other side, along with the rain, he heard the sound of gurgling water. Could it be the ocean? Nedry hurried forward, his eyes adjusting to the darkness as he went. Dense jungle on all sides, raindrops slapping on the leaves. And suddenly he came out of the foliage and saw the dark currents of the river. The river! He was at the jungle river. Damn, he thought. "You have a problem, Dennis," he said aloud. As if in reply, there was a soft hooting cry of an owl in the forest. Nedry hardly noticed. All he could do was go back to the control room, restore the computer, and somehow try to contact Dodgson to set up the drop at the East Dock for the following night. Heading toward the glow of the car's headlights, he was drenched and miserable. He heard the soft hooting cry once more, and this time he paused. That hadn't really sounded like an owl, and it seemed to be close by, in the jungle, somewhere off to his right. As he listened, he heard a crashing sound in the underbrush. He waited, and heard it again. It sounded distinctly like something big. Nedry began to run. He saw the Jeep ahead. He scrambled around the barrier, and then he froze. The animal was already there. But it wasn't close. The dinosaur stood 40 feet away at the edge of the illumination from the headlamps. Nedry hadn't taken the tour, so he hadn't seen the different types of dinosaurs, but this one was strange-looking. The 10-foot-tall body was yellow with black spots, and along the head ran a pair of red, V-shaped crests. The dinosaur didn't move, but again gave its soft hooting cry. Nedry waited to see if it would attack. It didn't. Perhaps the headlights from the Jeep frightened it, forcing it to keep its distance like a fire. The dinosaur stared at him, and then snapped its head in a single swift motion. Nedry felt something smack wetly against his chest. He looked down and saw a dripping glob of foam on his rain-soaked shirt. It was spit. The dinosaur had spit on him. He looked back at the dinosaur and saw the head snap again, and immediately felt another wet smack against his neck, just above the shirt collar. But the skin of his neck was already starting to tingle and burn. Nedry opened the car door, glancing back at the dinosaur to make sure it wasn't going to attack, and felt a sudden excruciating pain in his eyes. Stabbing like spikes into the back of his skull, then threw up his hands to cover his eyes and felt the slippery foam trickling down both sides of his nose. And he dropped to his knees, disoriented, wheezing. It caused flashing spots of light to appear behind his tightly shut eyelids, and Nedry knew the dinosaur was moving. Despite the pain, he forced his eyes open, and still he saw nothing but flashing spots against black. He was blind. The hooting was louder. The dinosaur was close now. He could feel it coming close, and his terror was extreme. And then there was a new searing pain, like a fiery knife in his belly, and Nedry stumbled, and with horror, he suddenly knew he was holding his own intestines in his hands. The dinosaur had torn him open. Nedry fell to the ground and landed on something scaly and cold. It was the animal's foot. And then there was a new pain on both sides of his head. The pain grew worse, and as he was lifted to his feet, he knew the dinosaur had his head in its jaws, followed by a final wish that it would all be ended soon.